Hey. Okay, good morning, everyone. My name is Omer, and today I'm going to talk about shining a light on website performance, measuring and optimizing with Lighthouse. And before I start, I just want to get a feel of the audience. Have you ever used Lighthouse before? Just with a show of hands. Oh, okay. A lot of people. So I guess we might have some experts in the field, and please feel free to add your 2 cents if you have anything to add. Okay, so for those of you who haven't used Lighthouse, it's a tool that you can use with Chrome. So if you just go to Google and search for Lighthouse, you will find 4 ways of installing it. It's an open source tool, and it's available as a Chrome dev tool. It used to be an extension, but now it comes bundled with Chrome, especially if you have a recent version of Chrome. And it's also available from the command line if you're using Node and NPM, Node Package Manager. And it's also available as a Node module. And finally, it has a web UI that you can use without needing Chrome. For the first 3 options, the Chrome Dev Tool, the command line, and the Node module, you would need Chrome installed on your machine because the first one uses your actual Chrome instance, and the command line and the Node module use the headless Chrome. So you would have to have Chrome installed locally. The first and the easiest version is the Chrome extension, the Chrome DevTools, and you can easily access it by, oops, this is not supposed to come here. All right, I'm just going to cancel this. So all right, this one. So if you come to your DevTool, you will find a Lighthouse tab. This might be hidden in some cases, so you might need to press the 2 double arrows to see it. And you will see some options for your analysis, the device and which categories you want to analyze. And it's pretty easy, and we'll give you the reports in a couple of seconds, maybe more than 10 seconds at times. And the downside of using this option is that it might use some data that is stored locally in your IndexedDB, for example. So fluctuation in the results of the data is pretty common. And that's why most people don't prefer this option. However, it's pretty quick if you just want to test something locally. And it works with your local host or any local server that you're running. So it could be ideal for people analyzing during development. The second option, the CLI, is also pretty straightforward to use. You install the library locally, and you pass the URL, and you pass whether you want to produce either JSON or HTML reports, and that's about it. The fourth option, which is the option that I'm going to use today for simplicity, is the web UI. And we have this tool called PageSpeed Insights, which, I'm back. This PageSpeed Insights will allow you to run analysis without using your local Chrome, which could be very useful. So we're going to run a test now and see how the results are created. So I think a lot of people these days are paying attention to OpenAI GPT-4 model, and I think it's in the product section. So let's see how they optimize their page. Now, obviously, they don't need to optimize it very well, but I think it's pretty a page that maybe a lot of people saw. So let's run analysis here. Okay, so when you run the analysis, it takes some time to run. And it produces 4 categories of audits. Now, if your page or the page that you're analyzing has progressive web apps, you will see a progressive web app category here among these. So it will be 5. But in this case, we only have 4 because this page does not have progressive web app components. And we see the results broken down into the 4 components: performance, accessibility, best practices, and SEO. And performance is the definition of performance is pretty relative. So SEO could be part of the performance of a website. And if you're using something like Google Search Console, for example, and you see the performance report, you will see organic clicks and impressions as part of your performance. Okay, so last 15 seconds. So you get, if you're not very technical, if you're not a developer, you will get a general score here, and this is probably the most important score. These scores are not, they're quite important too, but they're very minimal. So even if you score high on those, this doesn't mean your SEO is high. But for performance, you typically need to score between 50 and 90, and preferably higher than 90. And it measures 5 categories of metric, or 5 metrics. First, contentful paint, largest contentful paint, total blocking time, cumulative layout shifts, and speed index. I don't think I have time to go through them, but if we have questions, we'll discuss them through the Q&A. Thank you very much. Any questions? Sure.
Does Google use these results?
So,
does it matter to
so Google does use it. I don't have an evidence for this, but I use Google Search Console, and it shows as part of your core Web Vitals report. And it will show that some pages are scoring low, for example, in CLS. And if Google is measuring that, I'm assuming that it will use it to judge your page rank as well, because it affects user experience pretty much.
I see.
Yes.
Have you been using it with Lighthouse?
Yes, I have.
I'm just wondering how you used it and how it may have helped you through your development process.
So, yes, I use it, and I use Next.js, and I realized that I'm using, because through this tool, because it gives you a very clear breakdown of unused JavaScript. So, for example, if I go through this page, it will give you one of the opportunities of improving your performance. So it doesn't just say that your performance is crap. It tells you why it's crap. So, for example, one of these suggestions is that you could reduce your JavaScript. So if you look at their page, they're using Nuxt. So I'm guessing Nuxt is a server-side rendering for Vue.js, I guess. So we will see that so they're bundling their JS, and I'm guessing that they're minifying it, so they don't have a lot to do here in this section. But part of the bundled version, which is 249 kilobytes, only 112 of this is not being used. So there is an opportunity here to reduce the code. So this is not part of the building and bundling. This is part of refactoring the code to remove unused parts. The largest contentful paint, I think it shows you an image of the largest contentful paint. So you could actually, well, they're doing a good job here. So this is the largest contentful paint element of the page, and they seem to have done a good job with it. So yes, I hope I answered your question. Cool. Any more question? Good. All right. Thank you very much. And up to our next presentation.